Hi, everybody. This is Jack with Beach City at Boomtown with Andy and Annie from behaviourme.co. Hi, guys. Thanks so much for being here with us. I'm really excited to hear about your program. We talked about it a little bit. It involves VR and kind of a behavioral program, but a safe space for children with developmental issues and autism and Asperger's to learn real world skills. Can you kind of tell me how you got to Boomtown, where you're from, what kind of that process and story is, and then a little bit about Behavior Me?
Sure. So why don't you tell the
I'll kick that
history,
one
and then
off.
I'll talk about the simulations.
So the history of Behave Me. So we ended up at Boomtown, sort of by luck of the draw, but also because the phase of the company that we were currently at, we needed sort of that framework and that platform to take us to the next level. I think Boomtown, what it has provided thus far, and we're only in week 3, is the availability of those resources firsthand, right? Like one connection away, maybe even just walking down the hallway, that's the person you need to speak to. So we reached here, and we're here by way of Gainesville, Florida. So we're actually a Gainesville, Florida company.
Very cool. That's really wonderful. And now, how has the change in not only environment but startup ecosystem support, just even the environment here, how has that kind of amplified your success in what you're building here?
Oh, I think we've done more in the last 2.5 weeks than I think we've done in the last 3 months, really. And that's not sort of a kick to Gainesville. Gainesville is a beautiful place, and as a growing ecosystem, startup ecosystem, but Boulder is a lot more mature in that sense. And yeah, it's been great so far. It's been really good.
That's really cool. So you felt like, it was the right move for you.
Oh,
and
absolutely. Yeah, it's the right move for the company. And I kept on telling the co-founders, like, if we need to move to Barrow, Alaska, or Perth, Australia, we'll move there. We'll move all the way out there if it's beneficial for Behavior Me. Right?
Yeah.
We'll move to wherever we need to go. And so here we are, Boulder. I don't think we can road trip to Perth. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Maybe.
We could try.
We could try.
You're always welcome in Australia.
Cool. Awesome.
Nice. Cool. Well, thank you so much, Andy. And Annie, would you like to kind of go into Behavior Me and what that's all about?
Sure. So we're developing virtual reality simulations to better assist behavior clinicians to teach basic life skills and safety skills to kids with autism and other developmental disabilities. So things like crossing the street, or what to do, say, if you're in a fire drill simulation, or a stranger danger in a park. We're tackling those sort of things.
That's really great. And have you, has there been a really positive reception from clinicians and parents and seeing like the change in their children, or just really loving the fact that it's a safe space that doesn't actually physically put the child in danger if they make a mistake?
Yeah, for sure. So a lot of our beta testing kind of derives from speaking to the parents, also speaking to clinicians and other thought leaders in the field. And we're taking all their feedback and we're implementing it into our software and our code as well. So it's constantly being updated based off the feedback that we're receiving.
So then how does the product physically work? Is it that the clinicians will say, hey, today's the VR day, and are the children aware that they're going through a kind of a skill-based learning process, or are they unaware?
Mm-hmm. So the way that we're foreseeing how this would be implemented would be just another component into the actual intervention phase.
Okay.
So a typical session would equate to talking about whatever sort of skill that you would be discussing and role-playing for. You would also have like social stories. So I'm going to guide you through this whole process, which is verbalize it, and maybe some video modeling. So I'm going to show you a video of what this skill looks like. And prior to actually going to that in vivo setting, so actually going to a crosswalk, let's go into a VR simulation first, just to make sure that this is a skill that you already have in place and we're practicing in a safe space.
That's really beautiful, because I think that alleviates a lot of stress from parents, and like saying like, yes, I could take my child to the corner, but God forbid that they step into traffic, or they're not aware, or they're not paying attention, or some sort of part of it variable that is uncontrollable happens, and things like that do happen. So in the VR space, it feels real, but it is not a danger, and they're not put in danger, which is really alleviates a lot of stress for parents, and then teaches them in a safe space that they're comfortable, again, making mistakes and asking questions. And like that's really key, because I feel like in my experience, a lot of children with these issues, they're afraid of saying the wrong thing because they don't want to upset people. And it actually weighs on them very much. They're like, well, I don't know, I don't want to ask because I don't want someone to say, you know, you're stupid or how could you not get this? But in the VR sense, it's something a bit more comfortable because they're like, okay, so I did that right, I did that wrong, you know, and I think it's great. It's really good for their cognitive function, which is really wonderful. Yeah,
It's like a beautiful guided experience.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Where did it come from? Like, is it from a personal experience or?
So Annie has over 8 years experience with the population in autism and developmental disabilities. Our other co-founder also has a combined, I think we have a combined 11 years experience. 10, 11 years servicing this population, both developmental disabilities and autism. I think the oddballs out are myself and Chris. We're the entrepreneurs. We handle all the finances, all the business development, everything else that you can imagine that's not the scientific part. Yeah, so that's really how it came about. I mean, and there's a deeper story to that as to how we met each other and how it developed from there. But yeah, it's
Share
we're here.
something. Is it a longer story or just a deep? Can you?
Well, it's not a much longer story. So Chris and myself, who's not here today, we used to go to UF, University of Florida, and we had a class together, and he presented an idea for a non-for-profit using the science of behavioral analysis. And as soon as he said that during the presentation, I approached him afterwards, and he said, hey, by the way, I know someone who does behavior analysis. Her name is Annie. And I'm also dating her. So we figured, let's get together, let's figure out the opportunities available here. And that was about 2.5 years ago. And it developed, and it took multiple faces and multiple personas over the last couple of months. But really, why we're at Boomtown is a result of our efforts within the last 6 to 8 months, really. Developing our minimal viable product, pitching it to individuals, and bringing in beta testers. That's really how it's really progressed, and just networking.
And how are you sourcing those beta testers / are you looking for more beta testers?
We're always looking for new beta testers.
We're always looking for beta testers, absolutely. So if the folks out there in the web world, if you're a clinical psychologist, if you're an educational psychologist, if by chance you are an applied behavior analyst, or you know someone in those fields, we're always looking for beta testers. We have yet to land any beta testers in Australia, so we would love that. That would be great. I think we do have one in the works for India. But yeah, we're always looking for beta testers.
Okay,
always,
cool.
absolutely.
And if someone wanted to be a beta tester, how would they get in contact with you guys?
www.behaviourme.co. You'll see a call to action on our landing page. Just put in your name, put in your phone number, email address, and explicitly say on our message, I want to be a beta tester, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Okay, and that's behavior spelled?
BEHAVIORME.co.
Cool. Not the Australian way, the
Not
American
the
way.
Sorry, I think.
The way that I spelled it in the title.
Whoops, that is
we may have
incorrect.
to- oh, now that I'm thinking about it, we should probably purchase those domains.
Yeah. Good idea.
Yeah.
Behaviourme.
Yeah.
Bring it home. You gotta get all the languages in there,
Our
right?
next shirts have to have a U insert. Maybe like a
Yeah.
little carrot and a U, like
Oh, that'd be
insert
so
insert the U
cute.
here.
Yeah.
Oh,
You just
that's
need to crossed out and then there's one button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today. It sounds like incredibly rewarding and needed work as an app for them to, kind of learn life skills and have a safe space to do that. So thank you. Yeah, no, it's truly fantastic. I know I personally know a lot of people and their children who will definitely love to learn about that and utilize that. And who knows, it could be one of, it could end up being an entire program in the United States education system.
Absolutely. We would
You
love
know.
Yeah,
that.
we're hoping for
Well,
that.
that's what we're
Yeah,
hoping
that's what you're hoping
That's
for.
what we're gunning for, yeah.
U.S. federal education system. Don't fail us now. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here with us. This is Jack with Beach City signing off from Boomtown in Boulder, Colorado.